Good morning, everybody, and welcome in.
Is an NBC News
It
special
is
report.
uh,
Guthrie.
a great day today for us to be coming to you live this morning because we have the breaking news, the up to date news. Scott's going to tell you about that bridge in Baltimore. So we've got the breaking news, as always. And our hearts do go out to the people that has been affected. There are people that are in that area, like Together We Travel, and just a lot of people that we know in that area. Mm-hmm. Eddie's got a son in that area, so we're thinking about everybody. And I don't know if you guys want to go lead in with Scott right now, or since it is breaking news.
Yeah, just everybody welcome in Team Replay, and for the people that are in the chat right now, good morning and welcome in. We do have some news coming in from Baltimore. The Scott, I know that you had that video clip that you wanted to play. I don't know if you wanted to preface it with anything, but let's hear what Scott has to say.
Because Scott can pre-do it or whatever it's called.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, it's the Francis Scott Key Bridge. It's part of the Baltimore Beltway, which is a major interstate that goes around Baltimore. There's both an inner and outer loop. I don't know which one that's part of, but it goes across the Patapsco River, which is the river that the Carnival Carnival ships, currently the Legend, and the Royal Caribbean ships would sail up through. Of course, they have to sail underneath that bridge. It is the reason why no big cruise ship can get up into the port of Baltimore, because that bridge was just not tall enough. But it's a massive bridge. It really is a key and a critical, vital link that links one side of Baltimore to the other. So it's, pretty devastating that something like that would happen. I have, and this has been circulating on media, so I'm sure a lot of people have already seen this, but I just have a quick clip from Harbor Cam that caught it firsthand at 1:28 this morning. So I'm gonna roll that at the moment. Here, as you can see, the cargo vessel is approaching one of the pilings and collides with it, and the bridge just basically folds like a deck of cards. I mean, it just came down. I mean, it was just unbelievable to watch that. And of course, they had a pilot on board. Like any ship that's being guided into a port or out of a port, they always have a pilot on board that's very familiar with the area. So clearly, it wasn't an issue with that. I'm sure the ship had some sort of situation, some technical difficulty, steering, propulsion, something that caused it to collide with the bridge that way. But and of course, ships like that big, that heavy, don't exactly stop on a dime. So I'm not exactly sure what was going on. I'm sure we'll find out in the in the coming days and weeks. So this is the current position of the Carnival Legend. As you can see, its track here, it left from Baltimore out down the Patapsco River and then out of the Chesapeake. And then this is the current location of the Vision of the Seas. You can see it down in the lower right area of the screen with the circle around it. Of course, it sailed down out of the Patapsco River. So neither of them will actually be able to get back up the Patapsco River. So I have a live feed here from the Fox. As you can see, that span of bridge is massive. It covers the entire traversable part of that river. That was the only part of the bridge that, you know, was capable of having ships sailing in underneath it. So of course it's massive. It's over a mile long. The span of bridge that came down.
Oh, Jesus.
There's no way they're going to be able to remove that, you know, in the next couple of days. Even if they could remove it, there's a lot of investigation that has to go on and stuff like that or whatever, which would just kind of negate that possibility. So I think it's probably a virtual certainty that the people who are currently on the Carnival Legend and the vision of Royal Caribbean's Vision of the Seas will have to be bussed from another location, and I'm sure that's going to be a logistical nightmare, and there's going to be no location that's really close by either, so it's going to be extremely difficult, you know, for those people. I know that John Heald has already been fielding a lot of questions about it or whatever on his Facebook page. So I'm sure everybody can head over there if they want to get some more information. Although with it just happening just a few hours ago, I'm sure Carnival has absolutely no idea what they're doing at this point. So, but yeah, so I mean, it's unfortunate that something like that would happen. I mean, I know I always threw shade on the bridge because I always was upset that the bridge was the reason why you couldn't get big ships into Baltimore. This was certainly not the solution that I had in mind. It's a horrible, terrible thing, and as updates keep coming in, we'll keep bringing you those updates. I live only about, I live just under an hour from the port of Baltimore. You know, closer to the, you know, less than that to the city. So, you know, and I'm there frequently. I probably spend more time in that Baltimore area than I do even in the area that I live in, just because so many of the things that we go there, we go for, like stores and things like that don't exist there, that exist there. And it's so easy. There's a major highway that connects central Pennsylvania to Baltimore. It's Interstate 83. It's an easily accessible highway, and like I said, we spend a lot of time down there. We also go there sometimes for Wawa.
Nice.
Rub it in.
Wawa is their Buc-ee's.
Wawa for the win. Okay. Well, there are some people in the chat. I just want to run quickly through the list of people that have joined us on the show. First of all, thank you guys so much for coming in. And we will be giving updates throughout the show. But yeah, welcome in. First up in the chat is Eddie Lugo Studios. Good morning.
Good morning.
Viva la raza! Then next up, we got Cruise Nuts. Thank you for that donation of nuts in the chat. Hello.
Good morning.
Traveling with Tinkerbell says, good morning, everyone. Wishing you a great day. Happy Tuesday with a sunny day here in Florida.
Sunny.
Yep. Next up in the chat is, hey, babe, cruising is fun anytime has made it into the chat. Hello. Welcome in.
Good morning.
Texas.
Yep.
Whatever.
Cruising on the high seas
And travel.
has made it in. Hello.
Why are you not at work is what I'm saying.
Good question. I don't know. Lucky's throwing his membership tag around. Look at this. Member for 6 months. That'll work. Mike and Rihanna's Adventures. Hello. Welcome in.
Good
Allied
morning.
reinforcements have arrived from the north.
And Cruising with Calandra. Yep. Watching the news. So are we.
Yeah, I have it. Like I said, I have it actually set up as a direct feed, as you can see here, coming in live on the Fox News YouTube feed.
Yeah, as the sun comes up and it allows us to see better as to what's going on. We are thankful that it happened in the middle of the night. So the
Not doing rush hour.
and not during rush hour, you know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if it had happened during, like, if it happened, like, you know, gosh, there would have been hundreds of cars on that bridge. I mean, that is a massive, massive. I mean, it's a it's 6 lanes, like across that bridge.
Mhm.
And then it probably narrows down to, I think, like 3 lanes across that bridge. But that highway, at some point, at some parts of that highway, there's literally 12 lanes all the way across. Going both directions, obviously, right? But
Right.
it's a massive highway. So that wasn't a tiny bridge, and it's not like it's lightly traveled. I mean, it's heavily, heavily traveled. So it's part of the 695, which is the Baltimore Beltway.
Oh, I just feel so
Kathy
bad.
Mills, good morning.
Good morning.
Jennifer from Embarkation Nation says good morning from Puerto Plata.
Yeah, she's traveling.
They made it.
She's on a sailing.
Controversial Cruising has made it in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Sir.
morning.
We also got Captain Billy J Travels has made it in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Greetings.
Cruising with Keith has a cruise countdown here. Good morning, everyone. 60 days till cruise day.
Man, I wish it was me.
And
11 days.
I know, right? And Cruising with Keith says, I wonder if this affects the cruise port. It does.
It
Massively
does.
affects.
Yeah, absolutely. They have to sail up the Patasco River. Everything goes up the Patasco River. So, absolutely. I know that Keith had asked in the chat as well is whether or not they could take him into Philadelphia. They could technically take him into Philadelphia, but I doubt that will be their solution.
Right.
And something else too, airfare. You have people that flew into Baltimore, and now it's a mess. It's a logistical mess.
And listen, obviously this isn't the cruise line's fault.
No.
Right.
But the cruise lines are the last corporations on the planet that would go into their own pocket to help anybody in a situation, whether it was or wasn't their fault. So this is where travel insurance is going to be absolutely critical. That you have that, and there is going to be a ton of people who don't have it.
Right. Hansam Vlog in Australia. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
April Showers Network. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. Remember, it's not just the cruise port get affected, the whole area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People that live near the bridge that needed to go do their own stuff. Now they got to go around other areas.
That cargo ship was heavily, heavily loaded. I mean,
Yeah.
Baltimore is a major, major cargo hub. So it's definitely going to affect those things as well. So,
Will G, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And it's even better that ship it's not taking on water. So that makes it even a little easier.
Right.
But cleanup is going to be a mess.
A cleanup is going to be a mess. You're so right.
Yep.
You're so right. The clean. Oh, I can't even. Oh Lord, I can't even imagine.
And Cruiser with Calandra says most likely they will have to come up here to New York City to disembark. And I was thinking about that too, because somebody had mentioned Philly. Cruiser.
Keith did. I mean, they could technically go to Philly. I mean, they could sail up the Delaware River. I mean, a little bit of history. Carnival actually used to sail from Philadelphia. But the reason why they stopped was because it took too long to get down the Delaware River into the Delaware Bay and out to the Atlantic. And they could not serve alcohol or open the casinos while they were in the river. And it just took too long to do that. And it didn't work for their business model. So they stopped sailing from Baltimore, but they used to bring, the older ships, what I call the shuns, right? So like Inspiration, Elation, stuff like that. So the older ships, they used to bring one of those up into the port of Baltimore. The port of Philadelphia.
Philly, yeah. Canadian Family Life has made it in. Hello.
Hey, Tiffany.
Good morning.
Elizabeth has made it in. Good morning.
Good morning, Elizabeth.
Tammy is
Hey,
here.
Tammy.
Hello.
What's up?
Midlife Travels has made it in. Hello.
Good morning.
And yeah, Elizabeth says, what a shocking morning. the news, the local news was on, and I got woke up by the breaking news. I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it like as soon as I got up, and then like when Beth got up, she was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Oh, what a mess!" Right?
Mhm.
What a mess. That's what I said.
That's a big mess. Leonard Family Fun checked in with the day of the day. It says, "Good morning, happy National American Diabetes Association Alert Day." That's a mouthful. National Spinach Day.
I love spinach.
National Nougat Day. And National Epilepsy Awareness Purple Day. One day closer to the weekend.
You know that's right.
Yep. Together we travel. Oh, here we go. This is what I was going to ask everybody. Here's another question of the day. Have you sailed out of Baltimore, and have you sailed underneath this bridge that just collapsed? Let us know in the chat. And Will says, hello, everyone. We've cruised under that bridge many times on the Carnival Legend. I have a video of how close it has to go under.
Yeah.
And Scott was talking about how low this bridge was earlier. And I wonder, does it look the same as the Verrazano whenever the...
No, it doesn't. But I mean, but it is that part of it is an open span. If you do look at any of the other aerial news coverage, you'll see the ends are like a solid kind of concrete highway part. Right. The middle was kind of a steel open grade part of it. Yep. That part of it is similar to Verrazano, but it's not a suspension like Verrazano is. So, so no, not the same. So,
well, that'll work. Yep.
Like Verrazano looks more like Brooklyn Bridge. You know, it doesn't look like the Brooklyn Bridge, but it looks more like the Brooklyn Bridge than the Francis Scott Key Bridge does.
And hang on, Captain Billy J says, was that Captain Picard saying greetings? I'm not sure what the deal is with this.
No, it wasn't. It's actually from a video game. So.
Oh, okay. Let's play it again.
Greetings.
If you know that game, leave it in the chat. Anthony on the move. Good morning.
Good morning.
And he says, good morning, everyone, from the Mardi Gras. Lots of swaying yesterday.
Have fun.
It takes a lot to sway the Mardi Gras. I know that. That sucker's got a wide footprint on it.
And a big aft.
And a big aft, too. Yeah. Okay. Cruising with Calandra says the VZ Bridge is a lot bigger than the Key Bridge.
Yeah, way bigger.
I imagine.
And taller, too.
So we are all caught up in the chat, and if you get anything while I'm running the regular show, just tap in or make a noise or sneeze or something. Okay, Scott?
Yep.
So let me go ahead and share this screen here. We don't have a visitor in town today, but we do have a Ferris wheel and a pleasure pier for everybody to look at while I read the weather for today. It is 62 degrees here in Galveston with 74% humidity and windy. If you are coming in today to Galveston to enjoy the island, we are going to be at a high of 67 degrees today with 47% humidity, 7-mile-an-hour winds, and sunny. And I looked up where our ships are. All of them are out and about. The Carnival Breeze, the Disney Magic, and the Harmony of the Seas are all at sea. The Carnival Dream is in Freeport, Bahamas. The Jubilee is in Mahogany Bay, Honduras. The Prima is in Cox and Hull, Honduras. The Regal Princess and the Voyager of the Seas are both in Cozumel. So that's where our visitors are.
What did we do when we were in Freeport?
We got off the ship.
There's nothing to do in Freeport. You get off the ship in Freeport and you walk around the little straw market. There's a little Senor Frogs there. There's a couple of little shanties that sell like conch and smoothies. That's it.
That's yeah. I mean, I bought a
Nothing
couple
else
of
to do.
T-shirts, one for me and my mom, and we got back on the ship and went
Oh.
to
Because I
Blue
think
Iguana.
that was like a blur.
Yep.
Freeport.
Yeah, it's not much to remember because there's not much there.
Mm.
Well, like I always get upset about these sailings from Baltimore when they are stopping at Freeport. They leave at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And I always am like, like even the sailings that are eventually going to be going to Celebration Key when Celebration Key opens up in not in Freeport, but on Grand Bahama Island, same island. They're only staying till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's like a complete total jip. And really the reason why they're leaving then is because of the Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Patapsco River is a tidal river. So they have to leave at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in order to get back and into the Chesapeake and under that bridge when the Patapsco River is at high tide.
Mm.
I mean, at low tide. I'm sorry.
Low tide. Yeah, low tide. Anthony on the Move says her big aft had a bee in it last night. That's why I was shaking. And then Controversial Cruising has another joke. It should be a free port.
Oh,
So, yeah.
because I really couldn't remember what we did.
We didn't do much of anything. We bought a couple of T-shirts. We posed with the people that are standing up there. We posed with the sign that says "Welcome to Freeport." We got back on the ship and ate tacos. Najuma Brown has made it in. Hello, welcome in. I need my hearts to work. There we go. Midlife Travel says it is 31 degrees with a high of 57 degrees today in southeast Oklahoma. And that is it for the chat for now. So let us go back, way back in history with the segment of the show called Jeremy Goes Bananas. Yep, today we're watching a bridge fall, and over the years, there have been some notable events here in history. So welcome to the section of the show where I attempt to read what happened on this day in history. Today is March 26th, and in 1812, in opposition to the redrawing of districts to favor incumbents in an upcoming election, the Boston Gazette published a satiric cartoon that graphically transformed the districts into a fabulous animal, the gerrymander. The term gerrymander thus entered the American lexicon.
Mm-hmm.
In 1827, German composer Ludwig van Beethoven died of cirrhosis of the liver at the age of 56.
He was nice looking.
In 1874, American poet Robert Frost, much admired for his depictions of rural New England life and his realistic verse portraying ordinary people, was born in San Francisco.
I love his writings.
He was born in San Fran, but wrote about the Northeast. In 1885, the first clash of the Riel Rebellion in Canada took place in Duck Lake, Saskatchewan. In 1911, American dramatist Tennessee Williams, whose plays reveal a world of human frustration in which sex and violence underlie an atmosphere of romantic gentility, was born in Columbus, Mississippi.
I like his writings too.
In 1927, the Mille Miglia, the famed automobile race across Italy, was inaugurated. In 1930, Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman to become a U.S. Supreme Court justice, was born in El Paso, Texas. In 1941, British evolutionary biologist Richard Dawkins, who maintained that genes are the driving force of evolution and advocated atheism, was born in Nairobi, Kenya. In 1944, American pop singer and actress Diana Ross, who achieved international stardom first as leader of the vocal group The Supremes and later as a solo artist, was born. In 1971, members of the Awami League, set up by government in exile in Calcutta, and later declared Bangladesh an independent state. In 1992, heavyweight boxing champion Mike Tyson was sentenced to 6 years in prison following a rape conviction in Indianapolis, Indiana.
She shouldn't have went to the room at 2:00 in the morning.
Lots of bad things happen at 2 in the morning.
And it's not because he wanted to not have sex, but she wanted it to.
In 1997, police discovered the bodies of 39 members of Heaven's Gate, an American religious group that believed in unidentified flying objects. They had committed suicide in the belief that a spaceship was arriving to take them to a better place. In the year 2000, Russian intelligence officer and politician Vladimir Putin was elected president of Russia.
And it's been there ever since.
In 2005, 16 years after being canceled, the BBC sci-fi series Doctor Who returned to television with a new episode with Christopher Eccleston appearing in the title role. And in 2011, American Democratic politician Geraldine Ferraro, who was the first woman to be nominated for vice president by a major political party in the United States, died at the age of 75. And Nancy Pelosi was born in Baltimore, Maryland. I figured I would go ahead and put that one in there. In the year 1940, she was born in Baltimore. So that will do it for On This Day in History and Jeremy Goes Bananas. Okay, so there are some new people coming into the chat this morning. Scott, if you want to give them a quick rundown of what we're watching actively during the show, that way they can stay caught up.
Yeah, so as I'm sure most people have heard by now, the Francis Scott Key Bridge that spans the Patapsco River, which is part of Baltimore Harbor, has collapsed. A cargo vessel collided with the bridge and took it out completely. It is now completely blocking the shipping lanes, and of course the ability for the Carnival Legend and the Vision of the Seas to return to port at the end of their current sailing. They typically sail out of Baltimore on Saturdays or Sundays, so I'm sure they'll be unable to return. We have some footage that I put together, as well as a live feed. I know that we have a governor's news conference coming up that we can cut over to, should that start occurring here anytime soon. But this is, of course, Harbor Cam video footage of the cargo vessel colliding with the bridge, and the bridge subsequently folding into the river. So I know that there were reports of about 7 people that were on the bridge in a construction project. They were doing some surface resurfacing work on the bridge. And as a result, I know that they have recovered 2 people. One person that was recovered from the water refused treatment and simply said that he was fine and that he did not feel injured at all. Another person is in serious condition at a local hospital, and they are still searching for the other, presumably the 5 people. They believe there were some reports that were 7 to 20 people, but most reports seem to say that there was roughly about 7 people, but they've only recovered 2. So not sure what there hasn't been any update as to the rest of the people who were presumed to be on the bridge at the time that it collapsed. So, but right now we just have some live video footage coming in. There's some reporters that are reporting from the scene, as well as, like I said, there's supposed to be a governor's news conference here coming up. It was supposed to be 9:30, but you know, those politicians, they're never accommodating to anybody else's schedule. So not sure what's going on with that one or whatever, but I know that news stations from Baltimore, of course, in Washington, as well as Philadelphia, even from here in Harrisburg, because we're only, like I said, about 45 or 50 minutes north, literally due north from Baltimore. So I know that some Harrisburg news stations went down there as well. But yeah, so that's basically what's happened. So, you know, we're just still learning so much. There's not really a lot of information at this point. They're really just repeating a lot of the information that I'm sure so many other people have already heard. So as you can see here, they're all set up waiting for the governor to show up and hopefully give us an update of what they're, you know, what they found out since the last update, which I think was at like 5 a.m. or something like that. So,
Well, thank you so much for that. PK Adventure Travels has made it in. Hello.
What's up?
Globies Travels has made it in. Good morning.
yeah, and I would just say this, Ryan, why don't a good thing for you to do would be to, at the very least, head over to Eddie Lugo's live, as well as Cruising is Fun Anytime, and drop your link there on Eddie's chat. You want to put in #ELS, and on Cruising is Fun Anytime, you will want to put in #creator, and that will get your link out to more of the audience and hopefully allow you to make some additional connections over there.
Yeah, I'm going to drop it from our side.
Because unfortunately, StreamYard does not provide us a unified chat.
Okay. Bonk. And then boom. Pow. Copy and drop.
Yeah, I was about to drop it too.
Okay, there we have it. We got PK Adventure Travels link here. Any fin is possible.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, if you guys got family in the Baltimore area, you might want to start calling around and get some updates coming in.
So tragic. You're right, Globies.
It is very tragic for everybody involved, because I know that's how people get around up there. It's a major
They say it's the heart
highway.
of Baltimore, that highway.
That'd be just like our causeway collapsing. I mean, it really hits home for us because a bridge is the only way
to get into the island.
To get here.
I mean, like 690, like I said, 695 is a massive, massive highway.
Yeah.
Even the disruption in traffic flow is going to be just immeasurable.
People getting to work.
Section of 695 is out of commission. So, and everybody will have to go north and through the tunnel in order to get all the way around the city. So, and there's, you know, I mean, I can't even, I mean, you live near major cities in Texas and stuff like that, but I mean, Baltimore, the whole Baltimore area with all of its surrounding suburbs, and I mean, each suburb, like here, I live in a suburb. The suburbs of Baltimore are actually like major cities in themselves, right? So Townsend and Dundalk and you know, I mean, there's just so many. I mean, it's just ridiculous how many people are going to be disrupted with that section of 695 being completely out of commission. So,
whoa,
yep,
I can't imagine.
I mean, literally. I mean, it would be literally like, you know, 45 being completely cut off, you know, forever. You know, or even for a long period of time. So
we did have a barge that hit a bridge on I-10 during one of the big floods here recently. And I have crossed over I-10 since then. They built a new section of bridge as they work on the old section. So that's already been completed, and I-10 is flowing now. But what they were doing is what they were diverting people away from I-10, and then you eventually, get back on it. But we had a similar situation happen like that during, I think it was one of the hurricanes a couple of years ago. A barge hit the little bridge, and that was it. But it wasn't over big suspension like bridge, but it is a major thoroughfare. I-10 goes from Jacksonville to LA. So imagine there were a lot of disruption. Goldie, good morning. Hello, welcome in.
Good morning.
Yep. And we are foregoing the news because we want to stay focused on this news story here, which is a bridge collapse in Baltimore.
And I mean, like I said, and it's as tragic as it is, for what it is, it's going to have a major impact not only on the current cruise ships that are out from Baltimore on a current sailing, but the subsequent sailings afterwards, because this is a massive span of a bridge. It's completely blocking the entire shipping lane of the Patapsco River, which brings you into the port of Baltimore. And it's just not going to be something that they're able to clear in a timely manner.
No.
Yep. All right.
And I know the cruise lines are just going bananas.
Oh, yeah, they are.
On what to do next.
I mean, even look at the, like the bridges, like literally laying over the bow of the cargo ship. Think about how much cargo is on there as well, right?
And think about the cargo that can't get in.
I saw containers falling in the water as soon as it happened.
Right.
This is like a what do you call it? A heartbeat for goods coming in, goods going out,
Like I said, I mean, when you look at it, it doesn't necessarily look like it's that big of a section, but it really is massive. Like I said, it's over a mile long. And of course, that was the highest point of the bridge as well, where that, that part of it that came down, which was the entire steel span of it, which was, and there's two lanes that went underneath it. So, of course, that's completely down now. So, and I think this ship was actually headed out of the harbor. So I think it was headed to the Philippines or Malaysia or somewhere like that. It wasn't even supposed to arrive until the end of April. It was going to be traveling that far. So I'm not sure what's on it, but whatever is on it is obviously not getting there. So.
No, it's not getting there.
Captain Billy J left a message here. It says, we had our 3-mile bridge wrecked in a hurricane about 4 years ago here in Pensacola. A barge ran into it. It added up to an hour of commute time to go on another bridge miles away to get to the beach.
And that's what it would do if anything hit our bridge coming in. We would be cut off from society. We would be just cut off.
Yeah, unless you go through Freeport. There's another bridge on the south side of Galveston Island that goes into Freeport, and then you can take 288 up into Houston. That's our major city that's around us. Or you can go across the ferry, which that's a logistical nightmare on a daily basis. You don't know how busy the ferry is until you actually get there. Or if you're coming down the freeway, there are signs that says, over 60-minute wait, over 90-minute wait, over 4-hour wait. I've seen that for the ferry here in Galveston. It's a nightmare. That's what it is. There are some dates that I have in mind that the ferry gets backed up, but it's pretty much whenever you got a lot of tourists coming in. Does it look like we're about ready for the news?
I was, who knows? Yeah. I mean, really, You know, not sure. You know, I mean, it seems like Fox is just kind of running, like I said, just kind of running a little bit of a reel here with different things that have, you know, happened and stuff like that. I mean, I've sailed under that bridge gazillions of times. And it is a, you know, when you sail out in the winter when it's dark early, it's a, you know, it's a pretty view. You know, you see all the lights and everything from not just the commercial harbor area, but the city. And the thing about the Port of Baltimore is when you're on the ship and you're on the starboard side in a balcony, and it literally pulls right up to the edge of the city, you know, and you can just look out and see the entire cityscape of Baltimore. You know, it's quite a view, really. I mean, it's a really, you know, really nice view. So as you can see here, not sure what's going on. I'm looking at two different feeds here, but yeah, I'm not sure if the press, you know, if the press conference from the governor is actually going to occur within our time here or whatever. But
we got a birthday announcement here. Cruise Nut says, our eldest daughter has taken my wife and I out for some expensive bougie Italian restaurant for her birthday tonight. Happy birthday,
Goldie.
Yeah.
Goldie has something.
And Goldie asked it. Did we? Yahoo. Okay. And also, Goldie says, did I miss the Jeremy Goes Bananas? Yes,
God.
You missed the segment, but I will play
He did have some banana moments.
I will play the graphic. Hang on a second.
Yeah, he had some bananas.
And then, of course, we got the cute one here.
That goes bananas.
Instead of me, I'm pretty sure you'd rather see Hannah. So
we say Hannah Goes Mac and Cheese.
Hannah Goes Mac and Cheese. That's
and
right.
It's a good price.
It is cheap price. Leonard Family Fun says back in 2004, a gasoline tanker crashed on Alabama's Malfunction Junction, and that is I-65 north and south with I-20 east and west during rush hour. Those two interchanges meet at downtown, and what a nightmare, a mess.
Yeah. I can only imagine what they're going to go through. People trying to go to work.
Here we go. Another one. Scott Goes Grape Juice.
Yeah.
So hang on. We got to run that clip real quick.
Right. Scott, what does Elizabeth say when she sees that clip?
She just laughs like everybody else, you know. But you know, she doesn't appreciate some of the stuff that I do as much as some other people do.
Right. And Leonard Family Fun says melted the whole thing, the whole interchange. Wow. And happy early birthday tomorrow, Goldie.
Happy birthday, Goldie.
Yes,
I'll catch you in the
you.
mashes.
Wait a minute. You get confetti and balloons. That's for you for your birthday tomorrow. Wait a minute. My balloons ain't working. Hang on. I need my balloons to work, but it's not doing it. Rob Goes Drunken Rob. Well, okay. Before I play this clip, as always, I have to give everybody a disclaimer. We got this video clip directly from Rob, and it was not stolen from another channel. Here we go.
cruising on the high seas and travel.
Yep. If you cruise at Rob, you might see that.
Right.
And Leonard Family Fun says, I love that clip with Scott. Play it again for all of those of us in the back. Well, I'm not going to play that one again, but we do have this one.
Okay, Mike from Cruise Nuts. I want to see you and Jeremy do this dance on the Lido deck. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. On our birthday.
On
I
your
don't even
birthday.
know if I could do it again.
All three of us.
All
Yep.
three.
You got to get in that mode, man. And speaking of that cruise, I know that Eddie, hello, good morning, Eddie Lugo Studios. I know that you've been enjoying your coffee, but now it's time to talk. So tell us about this cruise that you've been secretly withholding from everybody.
Well, coming up October 28th this year, we have a group cruise coming out of Tampa on the Carnival Paradise. We're going to be leaving Tampa, going on down to Key West, Montego Bay, and Grand Cayman. We do have some cabins available, a couple of them. So get in touch with Bruce at Ocean to Ocean Travel so you could put your deposit down and pay up the cabin by July 31st. So you got plenty of time. About 200 days to take care of this, and we'll be cruising alone going down there. And me and Alice should be down there on Saturday the 26th to greet everybody that's coming up for the cruise and check out the Tampa area since I haven't been there in years. Check it out and meet with some people down there and have some dinner and stuff like that. Also, the whole entire crew here, we're going to be in it. My wife is also coming along, so Alice Studios will be there too. Traveling with Tinkerbell, Orange Cone Blog, Cruise Nuts will be there too. Like they said, Jeremy, Scott, and Mike will all be celebrating their birthdays. And it's also Halloween week, so 4 things happening at once. So it's going to be plenty of check-in booties and stuff like that. Bring your costumes with you. This is Halloween week. Have a great time and get in touch with Bruce at Ocean to Ocean Travel so you could get your cabin going. And listen to this video.
Booze Cruise 2024. Hosted by Eddie Lugo Studios, out of Tampa, Florida. Port of calls, Key West, Florida. Grand Cayman Island. Montego Bay, Jamaica. Aboard the Carnival Paradise. Join us for this great cruise, October 28th to November 3rd, 2024. Contact Bruce at oceantooceantravel.com.
That's right. And Controversial Cruising says Booze Cruise Baby 2.0.
For real.
And it looks like the mayor of Baltimore is speaking right now.
Yeah, that's the mayor of Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping this is from this morning.
Yeah, it's the same one from earlier because it's
it's you can tell it's still dark out.
Yeah.
So if the governor does show up, I'm gonna actually switch to a different feed so that we can obviously hear what he's saying. But my guess is he's going to probably show up about 30 seconds after we go off the air. So.
Well, you know, there's heavy traffic headed toward there because there's no bridge. But I do want to ask,
positive he's being flown in by a helicopter.
Right. What I'm saying is when we're sailing out of Tampa, does anybody know if there's a bridge that we go under
Yes.
on the
Oh
way
my
out?
gosh, yes. And that's, again, the same reason why you can't get big ships into Tampa.
Right.
Because of the bridge.
So until then, we need to say a prayer that no vessels hit the bridge and
And a very similar situation in Baltimore, like that bridge in Tampa connects one side of Tampa to the others. Pretty much the same in Baltimore. This bridge is part of the Beltway. 695 is the actual physical or official interstate, and it connects, a major, a significant, not only significant part of Baltimore to the other, but is part of an entire loop around the entire city. So,
Yep. Cruise Nut says it's the Skyway Bridge.
Yeah, in Tampa, it's called the Skyway Bridge.
Tanisha, take care. Have a good day. Yeah, have a good day. Hey, Pickles done made it to the show.
Earlier too, you could see, and you might be able to see off in the distance there. They have, you can see the rescue boats that are in the water right by the bridge.
Yeah,
looking everywhere they can.
But see, it happened at 1:30 this morning, and do you think that they will find anyone alive?
No, not alive.
No, because the water
temperature, that water is probably about 43 degrees.
That's what they
were
said.
Saying. Yeah. PK Adventure Travel says it does, and the new Sunshine Skyway Bridge was built due to a ship hitting the old one and damaging it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Tampa. Okay. Oh, okay. Cruise Nuts used to live in Tampa, so that'll work.
Mm.
Yeah, well, PK actually lives there. So.
All right.
And Tinker lives there too, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe they're neighbors.
And we got a banana update here. Cruising on the High Season Travel says he is sitting at 766 out of 1,000. All the help was greatly appreciated. He hit the 1K by July 1st. It's good to have goals, man. Yeah. And Rob has dropped his link so that everybody can connect with him in the event that you are not.
And he'll teach you how to do the dance.
That's right. That's right. We're looking for some tutorials.
You go that a dance.
Can you hear that?
I'm in awe of your courage.
Yes.
Through your speakers, yes.
I'm in awe of everything you do for each and every one of us. You saw a crisis and you said, what can I do to help? And our response teams are doing everything in our power to rescue and recover the victims of this collapse, literally as we speak. People who, as we speak, are out there are divers, are air assets. People who right now are working to save lives and are doing it because the state asked. And we will update the public as the work continues. To our partners inside and outside of government, I know this has been a long night. We started coordinating immediately after the Key Bridge collapsed. We've been standing together every step of the way, from our county leadership, to our city leadership, to our state leadership, to our federal leadership. And I'm grateful to call each and every one of you not just colleagues, but I'm grateful to call you friends. And to the people of Baltimore, and each and every one of the 6.3 million barrels who call our state home. I recognize that many of us are hurting right now. I recognize that many of us are scared right now. And so I want to be very clear about where everything stands. We are still investigating what happened, but we are quickly gathering details. The preliminary investigation points to an accident. We haven't seen any credible evidence of a terrorist attack. Our administration is working closely with leaders from all levels of government and society to respond to this crisis, and not but just by addressing the immediate aftermath, but also by building a state that is more resilient and a state that's more safe. That is our pledge, and that's our commitment, and we're going to keep that commitment. And lastly, to the victims of this tragedy and their loved ones, all of our hearts are broken. We feel your loss. We're thinking of you, and we will always be thinking of you. We pray for the construction workers who are on the Key Bridge, and we pray for everyone who has been touched by this tragedy and their families and all of their loved ones. But Maryland, we will get through this. Because that is the Maryland spirit, and that's what Maryland is made of. We are Maryland tough, and we are Baltimore strong. So in the face of heartbreak, we come together. We embrace one another, and we come back stronger. That's what we've always done. That's what we'll continue to do. And that's what we're going to get done together. And we're going to pray for Baltimore. And I'd like to turn this over to Senator Van Hollen, who's done a remarkable job, our fellow delegation, in providing support. So thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Governor. As the governor said, we come together. We come together in Baltimore. We come together in Maryland. First of all, our hearts go out to all those who are on the bridge and their loved ones. We pray for them. Our gratitude goes out to the first responders who, as we speak, are out there continuing to conduct search and rescue operations. I want to thank the governor, the mayor, county executive, all the people gathered here as part of Team Baltimore and Team Maryland. And the federal government is with them as a partner. The Coast Guard, as we speak, is also part of this mission. Coast Guard cutters, Coast Guard aviation assets. I spoke twice today with Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg has pledged that they will do everything they can to very quickly release emergency response funds for this important project. The National Highway Transportation Administrator is on his way to Baltimore if he's not here already. They will be releasing those early funds once all the parties are fully engaged. Second, the National Transportation Safety Board. I talked to the chair this morning. She and her team will be conducting an investigation of what happened. And finally, the Army Corps of Engineers, naval assets for looking below the surface and clearing. All of this is going to be part of the effort. The governor is leading Team Maryland. The mayor and the county executive, of course, Team Baltimore. But I'm just here to say, together with Ben Cardin, Senator Cardin, and Congressman Fume and others, the federal government is your partner in this effort. Thank you. And again, to the people of our state and the people of this great city, we're with you. We love you. We will get through this together. Thank you, Governor.
Morning again, Paul Wiedefeld, Secretary of Transportation.
Yeah, so
there you have it.
They didn't really tell us anything other than, they wanted to see each other for everything all the time. But yeah, so I'm sure there'll be more information coming, and naturally,
and then the channel that you're watching is Fox Live Now, right?
Yeah, I'm just watching Fox Live Now because Fox Live Now is 100% dedicated to this, where the other news channels are in and out and they're talking about and stuff like that or whatever. So I just thought Fox would not be my preferred source for news.
Correct. But
they're the only ones that are absolutely 100% dedicated to it at this moment.
Yeah, as they are with a lot of other good stories. So if y'all want to, after the show, go take off and continue to watch the coverage, that's where it can be found. But in the meantime, Eddie, I know that you've been working on a list for the people that are coming on for the remainder of the day here on YouTube from the growing and loving cruising community. So who's coming on?
I'll tell you right now. And we have coming after us will be a moment in the world with Darion. Next time will be Miracles and Mayhem, or Mayhem and Miracles with Masha. I believe it's Mayhem and Miracles. Somehow I keep putting it backwards. 12:15, Scratching Pete with one of his scratching games. So check him out. 6 p.m. will be Tuber Chat, Grow Your Channel. 7 p.m. will be Traveling with Tinkerbell, and with a guest today, I believe it's CCA, which stands for Carnival Cruise Addicts. Then at 9 p.m., Ocean to Ocean Travel. And closing the night will be Night Nurse Nancy at 10 p.m. Eastern tonight.
All right. Well, that is a good lineup for the remainder of the day. And Traveling with Tinkerbell says, yes, it's the Skyway Bridge there in Tampa. And she said that Skyway Bridge went down 32 years ago with a cruise ship as well, and it's been built higher. So let's hope that the same thing happens there in Baltimore. I know that engineers are probably drawing stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so Goldie said they're going to be back with the second account. That'll work.
Okay.
Thank you. And there she is. Goldie. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome in. Oh, snap. Hang on. We got, hey,
We got
a super chat
from you
and you.
and you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that super chat, Rob.
And of course, this is the attitude of Carnival, right? Through John Heald. He just says, certainly he was saying that I know everybody is not, has nothing else to talk about but what's happening in Baltimore. He says, however, we must carry on. And we're very happy to tell you that we now have the digital debarkation system available on every ship from North America. I mean, so this is going to be their kind of attitude. Like, what? Somebody just jumped off the ship and killed themselves.
Right.
Hey, let's go party. Let's keep the fun going and stuff like that or whatever. So that's kind of probably be their attitude. So I'm not sure that we're going to get a whole lot of information from them in the coming days either. And I apologize if people don't like my attitude about it, but my attitude about it is that I've probably had it up to here with the kind of so what,
It's not our fault.
Let's just keep on cruising and partying and pretending like it didn't happen attitude from the cruise lines.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with it. But for right now, even Carnival's not really releasing anything other than just a short little blurb about it from John Heald, who's basically just saying we must carry on.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. And speaking of carrying on, thank you guys so much for showing up for our show in spite of everything that's going on, this tragedy. In
I would
Baltimore.
like to thank Scott for keeping us up to date.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire show.
Yeah.
Because we can't look at it, and the people that are in here can't look at it as because we're live.
Mm-hmm.
But Scott kept it going so everybody that was in here could stay on top of things because we all cruise. Most of the people cruise.
Yeah. It's cruising. Not only is it cruising related, but it's practically my backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that there's a lot of people affected by this. I mean, even just the traffic to follow starting today, this morning.
People trying to get
it's
to
going to
work.
be bad. But yeah. Y'all take care of each other out there. Please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And never, ever forget, we love you and good morning.
Bye.
Bye.